Alright, boom. Welcome on the Podium Sports. Step up to the podium, ask the tough questions. So today I'm going to talk about Dak Prescott's $240 million contract. And then later on, after I'm done with that, and a little bit on the Cowboys, just team-wise, stuff like that, how it affects the team, stuff like that, how I think Dak Prescott's going to play out. I'm going to talk a little bit about Michael Parsons, and, knowing that his contract is going to be up. He's going to be up on the last year of his deal, just like CeeDee Lamb was this year, and looking for a contract extension. And he's a defensive end, so that's going to be one of the highest paydays in the league. So first I want to start with Dak Prescott, right? First of all, that contract was horrible. That was a horrible contract. I was not a fan of it at all, because at the end of the day, right, $240 million is insane. He's the highest paid NFL player ever. Obviously, it's going to be beat, but hopefully whoever beats it deserves it, because he does not deserve it at all. Now, I know Jason Garrett, all these people on these TV shows are that saying, oh, well, Dak looks this, Dak looks that. Dak is trash. Right? I'm just going to be flat out. And you can sit here and tell me about the regular season wins and all that, but Dak is just flat out trash. He's not good at all. Right? So, for me, how I grade quarterbacks, I think this is if you want to know the sign of a quarterback, and this is how I grade quarterbacks, and why you may say, oh, why is Dak trash? He shows up in regular season, bro. I'm going to be honest. If you're sitting there and telling me about regular season, I'm not sitting there discussing it with you, bro, because I'm not going to sit there and argue about regular season at the end of the day, right? He could lead the NFL in touchdowns in the regular season. I don't care about that at all. I really don't. That's cool, and honestly, to an extent it matters, because you have to win games to get in the playoffs and that kind of stuff. Regular season matters, but once you, I'm focused on the playoffs, because playoffs is where the star players rise, and the contenders show up, and the pretenders, everything gets revealed. We see the true you, right? So I just feel as if, bro, he lost to Garoppolo 3 years ago. He lost to Garoppolo, and by the way, they were supposed to win that game. I remember everybody saying the Cowboys was going to win that game. I don't think anybody really had the 49ers winning that game. They lost to Garoppolo. I think they had, and then on top of that, the whole team, they had 15 penalties in that game, and everybody knows the disastrous ending where they didn't give the ref the ball and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, he lost to the 49ers 3 years ago. And this is just recent. Obviously, there's more than just this, because he's been in the league for almost a decade now. He's been in the league for a minute, 7-8 years now. But lost to the 49ers 3 years ago. Then he went back, lost to the 49ers again in San Francisco. They lost to the San Francisco 49ers again. And then the last year, y'all got blown out. And look, I don't know the final score, because I stopped keeping count at 27-0. Flat out. I stopped keeping count at 27-0. That's when I stopped keeping count, because at that point, the game was over. Right? So that's the last 3 years of Dak. So I'm giving y'all recent. Y'all can't sit here and say, oh, what about, no. All we've seen of Dak the last 3 years is he's been horrible come playoff time. He's not been a elite quarterback. He hasn't showed up. He did not deserve this contract. It is cool that, Dak is, I saw Jason Kelce came and said something about him. He looking good in this, and Aaron Rodgers complimented him, and Jason Garrett. And that's cool and all, but at the end of the day, why does everybody revere Mahomes, right? Why does everybody praise Mahomes? Yes, but by the way, Mahomes, what they win 9 games in the regular season last year? So my point, that's why I say about the regular season, the Chiefs won 9 games and won the Super Bowl. As a defending champs, and then won the Super Bowl. Lost to the Raiders at home and won the Super Bowl. I don't put too much stock in the regular season. The real teams and the real players going to show up come playoff time. The Chiefs coasted through the regular season last year. Then playoffs came, they flipped the switch. It's the opposite from Dak Prescott. He flips the switch during the regular season. Then the playoffs, he gets torched. He gets embarrassed. It's embarrassing what he does in the playoffs. He wets the bed every time in the playoffs. And it's just for Cowboys, I just don't understand how y'all can forget that, right? I don't understand how y'all can forget that. And for the national media, how y'all can forget that, because I'm gonna tell y'all right now, this is how the national media works. They're praising Dak now, right? And then when Dak falls flat on his face in the playoffs, right? Then they're gonna be the same one saying, oh man, Dak Prescott, he didn't look as good. Man, what happened to him? Something changed. Nothing changed. He's been the same guy. Dak Prescott showed you who he is, and he's shown you who he is for the last 3 years, for his whole career. But the last 3 years, he's shown you who he is. I'm not a winner come playoff time. I'm a loser, flat out. That's just what it is. So with Dak, I'm not a fan of the contract. And if you can't win come playoff time, it doesn't mean anything to me. Because at the end of the day, the whole goal, especially for the Cowboys fans, right, is Super Bowl, right? That's the standard for y'all. If you're not making an NFC championship or you're not winning Super Bowls, like the Cowboys fans, it's almost like a wasted season for y'all, right? So that's my thing. It's like Dak Prescott not winning no championships, he's not winning no Super Bowls, but Garoppolo and Brock Purdy and Hurts and all these niggas that's supposed to, that he getting hired, that he's, getting more money than Mahomes, even Joe Burrow, Matt Stafford, like, you know what I'm saying? All these dudes is making runs and winning Super Bowls. Matt Stafford Super Bowl, Joe Burrow made it to Super Bowl, Mahomes made it to won multiple Super Bowls, Hurts made it to Super Bowl, Brock Purdy made it to Super Bowl, and he getting paid higher than all them, and he ain't won nothing, right? So. And so that's my thing on Prescott. Is every time he shows up, he comes in the playoffs, he wets the bed, right? So that's why I'm not high. That's why I don't like the contract. It's a horrible contract. I would have let him walk. The Cowboys. This is what the Cowboys need to do, right? And it's not gonna happen because here's what you gotta understand, right? And I just find it funny how Cowboys fans brag about like, oh, what's that little list that comes like every year, like every couple of years, like the teams, the sports teams worth the most money, right? The most. So like, I guess it's like it gauges like how much money your sports team is worth, like through memorabilia, through like social media, like all that kind of stuff. So it pretty much gauges like, okay, how much is your sports team worth? Like, and it goes through the whole world. Like they have soccer teams in there and everything, FC Barcelona, all those teams. So the Cowboys come in like usually like top 3, maybe even number 1, I'm not sure, but they're usually top of the list, like top 5 or something like that. Last I saw it was like $5 billion, right? So the Cowboys fans love to brag about that. Our team is worth all this, but my thing is, who cares? Like at the end of the day, because if you're not winning, who cares? Like y'all could be worth $5 billion. Y'all not getting that money. Y'all keep bragging about money that ain't true. I never knew that people could be so proud of money that wasn't theirs. You don't get none of that. You don't even get repaid. You don't even get a return on your investment, because instead of getting a Super Bowl or championships, you get first round playoff exit. You get laughed at by the media. The same media that y'all gonna hype up and eat up everything they're saying. Oh my gosh, Prescott. The same media that's gonna be laughing at y'all at the end of the season. I'm telling you right now, just like I'm telling you flat out, he's not gonna show up in the playoffs. Like he's shown his whole career, he does not show up in the playoffs, bro. He doesn't. Especially recently, he has not showed up in the playoffs, bro. He's not gonna show up. I promise you this. The next step in that is, okay, well, here's my next thing in that, right? Y'all forget, right? Who, so that's my thing on Dak Prescott. But that's going to be in this video, but I just wanted to say that real quick and say that Dak Prescott is not a playoff performer. He didn't deserve this contract. And it's really stupid. And any Cowboys fans that are happy about this should not be. If you know, like, this is a dumb contract and he did not deserve it. The national media is saying he deserves it and he's looking better. I don't care about regular season. You could blow the Browns out. That's fine. You do that every year. Show me something in the playoffs. I'm not a fan of the contract. It's a horrible contract. It's the worst contract in the NFL right now. And if I was the Cowboys, I would have let him go. I would have let him walk. Right? I would have paid him, but not that much money, like $40 million. We're not paying you $60 million annually. By the way, the first player ever to make $60 million annually as an other football player. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Prescott. I'm out.